Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the first day of August. Excited? Well, hooray. Welcome August. Today I would like to talk to you about, let's talk about the COVID thing here because it's still creating a lot of problems in the world. We prepared here some slides for you to keep an eye, to kind of look at the overall situation. COVID in Japan, can you read it? Okay. COVID in Japan. We see a graph from February till July. And you see the current wave of Delta variant is causing them to have 12,000 cases a day now. Is still getting higher and higher and higher. 12,000 new infections yesterday in Japan. Okay, it's around several thousand in Tokyo itself, where the Olympics are held. Okay, so you see, it's very infectious. This Delta variant here is 1,000 times more infectious than the previous one that that happened during the first wave under the Chinese and under the Nikki. Okay, so we handle that, and now the Delta variant, okay, is creating a lot more infection. It's like, we tried it, it's like putting a dye in water, nothing you can do, it spreads so fast. There's not much you can do, okay? But this is, the population in Japan is about 120 million people, okay? A little bit more than Vietnam, okay? Korea cases is 1,440 cases, 1/10 the size of Japan. Okay, COVID in California, in the U.S., it's death. Well, we're not interested in death. No one is dying. Okay, doesn't matter where it is, Taiwan, Vietnam, where not many people are dying except some countries. But basically, for people like us, we're not dying, okay? A few deaths here and there, okay? Taiwan, what is the current case? New case is 12. Yeah. All right, okay? We'll talk about that later. COVID in India, 41,000 new cases. And it seems like the preparer doesn't care about the COVID cases in the U.S. Would you like to know how many cases? New infections? Yes. How many? Don't Google it. How many? If memory still serves me right, I'm getting old. I am old. 70,000 cases in the U.S. Half of our population is not vaccinated. 50% is vaccinated, around 57% has one shot. Under 50% has two shots, fully vaccinated. So that's why it's spreading like crazy. Okay, and the fact is that people don't realize it. It's not about politics, okay? It's about the demons spreading all these things and planting these thoughts in those people so they don't believe, and spreading false reports, false rumors on the internet and so forth. It's a demonic work. It's nothing. These people are helpless against it. It's not their fault. You cannot blame them. It's not going to blame Trump. He has nothing to do with it, okay? Trump is a victim as well. Okay? So That's the status, the state of the COVID in the world right now. It's spreading like crazy, creating a lot of fear, anxiety in people, and they're not killing people. They're just killing those who have been sick already. And the healthy people like us, we don't die. Actually, recently, it's interesting. In the first part of the year, a few people came to me because they were in the ICU for up to 10 days, and it's no end in sight. They've been breathing on a respirator, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. That's all they can do, is give you a respirator to pump oxygen to your lungs. That's it. That's all they can do, okay, back then. And so they came to me and asked for help, and we were able to save them, a few of those, okay. Now, recently, I'm aware, I believe one person who has been vaccinated I know of got what they call a breakthrough infection, meaning you've been fully vaccinated, but you still get infected anyway. So we helped, okay? And how do we help? Give them more oil. That's it, and done. The other cases took me quite a while, and a lot of pain and grief, a lot of work, okay? So you see, what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're vaccinated, it's very easy to deal with it, okay? You don't get vaccinated, you're gonna really, really suffer, and you're gonna infect a lot more people, okay? And trust me, and this is something that I cannot give you facts, I give you proofs, but these people who refuse to get vaccinated are really, really being confused by the demons. Okay? They're helpless, they're victims. So that's what is called common retribution. We pissed the demons off, so now they came and really harass us and harm us. Okay? But all of you who can awaken to that, quite a few are desperate, so they're getting vaccinated, but it's way beyond comprehension. There's no way the politicians can get it, doctors can get it. That's how demonic the situation is. Not much you can do, okay? In the past, as I told you, I have been vocal and public about this. In the past, we helped out because when President Biden took office, people were dying and the infections were getting up very quickly. And if we didn't do anything, the economy is going to really cave in. So we had to do something to help the new president, okay? And that's how we recovered, okay, quickly. But then the Delta variant happened, and we don't have time to meddle into things like that anymore, and that's why maybe it's a good thing they get infected, they increase immunity, they will create herd immunity. So it seems to work. Now a lot more people who are skeptical are getting shots because that's the only defense they have. They can talk all they want. They're going to get infected because this Delta variant is so infectious. There's nothing they can do. Okay, it crosses way beyond political lines and racial, ethnic lines and social, economic barriers and so forth. Okay, so that's the way it is. I also want to tell you that Taiwan here is low because they isolate a lot of stuff, but also the decline here because we help here from Blue Mountain Temple a little bit. Okay, California, we did nothing since Delta variant, since June, we did nothing. So see, it went up, okay, and then it's staying up, okay. Again, Japan, we didn't touch it 10,000 2 days ago. In Tokyo alone, overall in Japan, yesterday is 12,000 cases. Okay, very low death rates as expected. Delta variant is not that deadly. And the Japanese are fairly, relatively healthy, just like the Taiwanese. Okay, Korea, special case. They've been very proud of it. They were the success stories initially because they are very aggressive and very efficient in control the infection and the testing, but they ran out of vaccines. Nowadays, the Korean population is only about 13% fully vaccinated. Okay, under 20% has one shot, whereas the Japanese has 3 times the vaccination rate. Okay, and yet they have 10,000 new cases. So in Korea, it's actually, that's why the Korean government is not panicking yet. Okay, and I'm willing to share with you. That's because we've been helping them in Korea because we have a temple there. We can't ignore it because these people are not as extreme as half of the population here in our country. And they want to get vaccinated, but don't have enough vaccines right now. So we help them from Korea. We help them from San Jose. So that's why this is all we can do, because it's spreading so fast. We don't have time to spend all day to just do this one thing. Okay? We have other commitments as well. Other matters of life and death are much more critical than just these infections. Okay? So you see, I want the GMT and Go Forest to know that their work has not been in vain. And you see, I illustrated these numbers for you to see, meaning that for Korea, a country about half the size in population in Japan, okay, it's 1/10 the infection rate of Japan. Okay, so you guys are making a difference. Keep it up. Okay, sometimes we work quietly without any recognition, and that's fine. We're not doing this to get recognition. We do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay, and it's not about bragging or tooting our horns. It's about telling you that this is beyond. It's beyond your understanding. It's a demonic thing. They pull your strings and make you behave and believe in the wrong things. There's not much you can do. It's way beyond you. As an example, those of you who are depressed, okay, nothing you can do. Those who experience depression, which is a demonic thing, you're under the control of the demons and the ghosts. You can't do anything. That's how strong they are. Okay, same thing. These people who don't believe in vaccination actually are being manipulated by the demons into not believing in the vaccines. It's okay. They in our temple, it doesn't bother me because we are a free country. We respect your decisions. And besides, we're not afraid of the infections since all this time, because we not only are not afraid to get infected, but if they dare come here and mess with us, we will teach them a lesson. Demons or not. This is our territory. You come here, okay? You pay the price for messing around. If the demons think they're in control, no, they're not. They can manipulate their victims, but they can manipulate us because we recognize them. All right? Questions, comments? Yes, channel 6.
Yes, excuse me, Master. I'm worried about my daughter because she's so worried about this whole thing. She's vaccinated and so forth, has both vaccinations, but about the very beginning of the whole pandemic, she was in a car accident that exacerbated her condition, her health condition. So now she's really worried about, the variant, and because she has this health condition, a pre-existing health condition, and then on top of that, she's not a believer. I mean, she respects what I do. She thinks what I do is great. She's glad that I have such a strong faith in Buddhism and so forth. But, she's so worried. And to help her, of course, I request prayers from the temple for her and so forth. But to help her, I volunteered. I said, would it help you if I go ahead and get tested every so often? And because she knows I come to a temple, there are other people here. And she said yes.
Lots of infectious people.
Right. And so for her benefit, I do that, because then it calms her. Mm-hmm. But it's a shame to see it, and having to see how really difficult it is on her.
So every now and then you go and they stick something up your nose and go like this?
Yep, I do it.
Okay. It sounds like some sort of karmic retribution.
Maybe so, but if I can do that and it helps her to some degree, then I'm willing to do it. But it's, I can see how really difficult it is for someone, although they have prayers and blessings from the temple.
So I don't know how to help her either. She's doesn't believe, and she actually seems to not trust you at all. So be it. The nature of it, like it or not, is that we're not trying to convince anyone. We only convey to you information. Understand that, okay? All of you pay attention. We're not trying to sell you anything. You're not trying to persuade or change your minds at all. It's not my job. My job is to give you information and give you advices when I'm given the chance, okay? But my experience the last 15 years of teaching is that no matter how hard I tried, it wouldn't work unless what? We have conditions. They have conditions with me. They believe what I say. Either in the past, we have prior conditions where I owe them. They probably came and gave me a toothpick or something, and now the interest accrued, so I owe them big time. After billions and billions and billions of years, I owe them so much that I said, they believe anything I tell them. That's a Buddhist perspective. Okay? They believe because it's to their benefit to believe. Okay? But if they don't have the blessing, it's not much you can do. You can try, and you can stick something up your nose and whatever, and wear masks and use sanitize your hands and spray your whole face, your whole body every other 5 minutes. It's not going to do anything because the nature of the blessings is that it's not enough for them to protect them against the demonic manipulations. Okay? Yes, number 5.
Cảm giác. Thank you. Mô Phật Thầy, con cảm giác tưởng tượng giống như thế giới nó muốn tận thế như sao ta? Nguyên cái thế giới nước nào cũng bị cái bệnh này. Thành ra con rất là con thì cảm giác khổ tâm quá. Bởi vì con thì vậy không biết chừng nào nó mới kết thúc nè thầy. Thầy biết chứ được cái chừng nào nó kết thúc thầy. Chứ đỡ cho dân chúng, đại chúng nó không có khổ sở như vậy. Thì vọng chiếc này được như vậy thì vọng đại chúng biết tu, biết hồi tâm chuyển ý mà tu, đừng có không mang nữa. Con tí thi vọng như vậy đó, thầy coi chừng nào nó mới kết thúc thầy. Mô Phật Thầy.
Master, to me, it's kind of like about the end of the world. Like all of the country in the world, they were infected, and then it sounds like people are really, really suffering. So I really hope that people, the assembly, can cultivate, and then they can change their mind. And I hope that things will get better.
Okay, well, I hope so too. I don't know what to do either. Either you do the rest of my work for me, and I will take care of this COVID thing here, country by country by country, okay? But either that or wait until they get immunity by getting infected. But this Delta variant is not killing people. That's why I don't even care about it. It's not killing people at all. It's on creating fear in the victims. That's the damage. It's not the death. It's not the dying. It's the fear. And teach them a lesson. They're fearful. They get vaccinated, and and that's all. That's how I'm dealing with it. I don't have time to deal with the fear of people. If not, they are not afraid of this. Going to be afraid of something else. Fear here. It manifests in the forms of the COVID-19. After this, they're gonna be afraid of something else, and on and on and on and on. Okay, I know they're suffering, but I'm sorry if it's not this, you're gonna be afraid of something else. That's all. It's a demonic thing, and if you suffer, you learn. You'll be forced to change your behavior. Okay. If we had continued to protect California, then no one in California would bother getting vaccinated. Okay? So we spend all day working on something that doesn't need to be worked on. Yes, channel number 5.
Mô Phật Bạch Thầy, Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa đó, 20 mấy năm trước Thầy có nói như gì nè. Tới sau này đó, con người ta cái bệnh đó, 2 người đối diện bắt tay đó là cũng có một cái bệnh nữa. Cái nhất mà mình nhìn người ta, 2 người mà nhìn nhau đó là cũng có một cái bệnh nữa. Thì bây giờ mình mới thấy rõ ràng là bây giờ như vậy. Thì bởi vì bây giờ nó là ai nào cũng lấy cái khẩu trang để bịt cái miệng lại đó. Thì theo bản năng nghĩ đó, theo lẽ mình đó, cái miệng nói ít một chút xíu. Còn cái nhìn người ta đã nhìn tốt một chút xíu là thấy là không có cái gì xảy ra cho mình hết á. Mô Phật. Cái này là Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa nói đó.
Remember that Sư Phụ Master Xuyen Hoa said 20 years ago, he said that there will be time that there are type of illnesses like 2 people, they just shake hands and then they can infect each other, or the 2 people, they look at each other, they can transmit the illnesses. And then I see like people wear masks or whatever, but in my opinion, it's better that people talk less. And then when they look at people, they should look on the good side. That's how it can help with the situation.
Amen. Yeah. It's okay. People will learn, adjust their behaviors. Just like I'm adjusting my behavior. Before I help people blindly. Now, if people get infected, the first question I ask is, did you get vaccinated? And I said, no. If he said, yes, I said, okay, I helped you. He said, no, 20,000. I saved your life. Guyin introduced a rich family who seem to have in Houston, who has slot machines, very rich. The woman is so sick, okay? They tried everyone and no one came, and no one could help her. I was the last one, and I said $20,000, okay? The guy, I said, if I can't help you, I return your money. The guy wouldn't even trust me. I said, never mind, don't waste my time. Okay, he said, no problem, please help me. And then he called around, called all his connections. Rich family have their own network of rich friends. So they asked, and the people they called reported to me. They said, Master, I spoke highly of you. I told them, do not hesitate. And they still hesitated. So I said, instead of helping them based on their words, I stopped my help. The woman died in 3 days. And that's where she is right now. Not in a good place, trust me. All the money she has, and he has, their brothers and sisters, cannot help her. Let them suffer. And when she gets out of that bad places, because when she got down there, I told you so. Yes, number 7.
Dạ, cho xin con hỏi Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa khai thị nói người thì không phân duyên, đói cũng không phân duyên, mà nghèo chết cũng không phân duyên. Mà ở Việt Nam mấy thầy chùa nhỏ thì đòi là xây cho chùa to xây cho chùa bự xây cho chùa đẹp, giờ trở thành là trung tâm du lịch. Vậy thì người này có phải là, thầy này có phải là phan duyên phải không? Rồi nữa là những người Phật tử đóng góp vô xây chùa đó trở thành trung tâm du lịch. Vậy mấy Phật tử đó có phước đức gì không?
I have a question. So, Master Xuan teaching us like freezing to death, we do not scheme, starving to death, we do not beg, and dying of poverty, we do not seek. But I noticed that nowadays in Vietnam, there's a lot of temple. They have a small temple. They will want to build a big one. If the temple is already big, they want to make it huge. Or if it's already huge, they want to make it like more beautiful and make it become the center of tourist attraction or whatever. So I wonder those activities, does it consider like scheming? And then for the lay people, whoever support the temple to do those kind of activity, do they get any blessing?
I'm not sure. The Buddhism in Vietnam might be different, okay, because they do it differently the way we do it. In the U.S., I'm proud to tell you that I teach my disciples not to climb on conditions. They should not try to build big temples for themselves or bigger temples for themselves. The only exception is they should try to do that for me. Okay, because I can handle it. You give me a big temple, I will not be impressed. If you are a monk and nun, and someone gives you a big temple, give you a lot of money, and you're not impressed, then it's okay to do it. If you you get a lot of money, get a big temple, and you say, "Oh, I'm so successful. I am so famous. I now am a somebody." Okay, then it's not the behavior of a monk. It's perfectly okay to build a big temple. My master is very rich when he died. Very, very rich. A lot richer than the monks you mentioned in Vietnam. Much, much richer. If you like, I can tell you how much money he has when he died in private, because those numbers were reported to me when I was there. Okay? So you should not be rich because money corrupts you. Like the Vatican, they have a lot of money and they don't have the people who have wisdom. That's why they have corruption problems and their investment property. In the UK, big time, corruptions everywhere, from low level to top level, and they basically took a lot of money out of the Vatican Bank for their own benefit. It's because these people have no wisdom. They are greedy for money. But it's people like Master YongHua who are not greedy for money, it's perfectly okay to be rich because they use those donations to benefit living beings. So those people who donated, made offerings to Master YongHua were actually accruing a lot of blessings themselves. So it's beneficial. Okay? It's a good thing to do. And besides, he never cared for money. So that's why it's perfectly okay for him to build temples, to be rich, to be famous. But if you are not impervious, immune, and he's also immune to COVID-19, I assure you. Not only immune to money and fame, he's also immune to COVID-19. But if you, as a monk and nun, are not immune to greed, are not immune to getting excited about money and food and those things, then you shouldn't touch those things because you are not helping yourself, you're causing problems for yourself, and you are not helping the people who give you money because the money they give you are not put to good use. That's why the blessings generated are not that much. Compared to you give money to someone who's not greedy for money and puts it to good use, to much greater use, your blessings are multiplied many times bigger. Let's talk about numbers. For example, if you give money to a monk or a nun who is still greedy for money and fame, you'll probably get, factor of 10. It's still pretty good. I don't know of many investments where you can get 10 times the return. Still pretty good. Okay? However, you give money to a monk like Master YongHua, guess what the multiplier is? It's not 10, a little bit higher. Try 10 million or more. And that's why now he's dead, I can tell you. If he's alive, I cannot tell you that number. Okay? It's just life. Yes, spy number 1, number 5.
Mô Phật và Thầy. Thầy bữa hôm Thầy nói cái người hồi nãy Thầy nói đó, Thầy có đoán rồi. Thầy cái người này đó, Thầy cũng có hứa với gia đình bà chị tôi, nói là để một ngày nào để qua gặp Thầy. Mà xong á Thầy tôi cũng có trình qua cho Thầy nghe. Thầy nói là cái người này không bao giờ tới đây đâu. Thầy nói Thầy con cũng để ý thôi. Mà chuyến này đó cái bà La Cha này bả qua đời đó, thì cái người này có qua bên này. Thầy nói là người ta dụ nói là đi vô chùa Thầy, ổng nín thinh, ổng không có tới. Thì Thầy đoán là cũng rất là đúng đó, người này đó là cũng không đến tới đây đâu. Mà thiệt, thì cái bữa hôm Thầy bà chị tôi cũng có chỉ cho tôi thấy đó, cái người này đó là hứa đến tới chùa này mà cái người này không có phước báo nào mà để đến tới đây. Thì quả ngăn thấy là một cái sự rất là đúng, Thầy đã đoán trước.
Tới cũng không được gặp, đừng có tưởng tới được đâu.
Vua Phật. Rồi nói
dễ
tới
vậy em.
Nói tới Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiến Hóa đó, thì Quảng Ngân cũng có học qua, cũng có biết chút đỉnh. Ngài nó nói là có người ta nghe đó, ông thầy này ông tham quá, kêu người ta bố thí hết một cái gia tài cho Ngài đi. Thầy có người thầy cũng nói là đúng, và có người thầy cũng nói là sai. Nói Hòa Thượng sao tham quá, kêu người ta cúng hết gia tài, người ta làm sao mà người ta sống. Thầy Quảng Ngân cũng rất là để ý một cái câu chuyện đó. Thầy cái người đó cúng dường cho Hòa Thượng hết một cái gia tài đó, thầy mình thấy là cũng rất là khổ rồi biết không. Mà cúng những cái gia tài đó là những cái nghiệp chướng để cho một ngày lạnh. Rồi đó Ngài cùng cái người mà phát tâm được cúng như vậy đó, là Ngài đó trả lời một cái kêu bằng một cái mình không có thể nào tưởng tượng được đó. Mô Phật.
So, Master, talking about the lady that you were mentioned earlier, and then the family talked to my sister, and then back then they promised like whenever they have a chance to come over here, they will go and visit Master. But Master told us ahead of time like, no, this person will never come. And then, like when the Naja lady passed away, and then I know that that person came. But then when we asked if they want to come to visit the temple, but then they just keep silent. So it shows like they don't have blessing to come. And then Master comment like even if that person come, they won't have a chance to meet Master. And then the second thing that I learned from Master YongHua is like some people, they do have comment that how come Master YongHua is still when he tell people to donate like all of their possession, and some people come in like, oh, how come this monk is so greedy, and these people say, oh, it's right, though the other people say it's wrong. But I can see that there's a person that they make offering all of their property, whatever they have, and then those in actually it's kind of like when Master accept their offering, he helped them with their karmic karma and stuff like that. So the thing that Master do in return to help them, it's inconceivable.
Yes, back there. Number 8.
Master, what about the people who were not allowed to get vaccinated, and they were to get the COVID-19? Would it be okay to ask for help?
I couldn't hear the question.
Like the people who are not allowed to be vaccinated, like the people in Vietnam, is it okay to ask for help?
Of course, it's okay to ask for help. Okay? If you can't help it, of course, we're willing to help. But if you have the chance to be vaccinated, like people here who refuse to be vaccinated, I'm going to make you pay if you're afraid to die. $20,000 for your life, what are you going to do? And if you're richer, I might ask for more. So you remember the lesson. Do not let the demons fool you. You do, you pay. This is demonic. You don't get it. It's just, the behavior is totally nonsense. It's irresponsible. So it's okay. You make a mistake, you have to pay for it. YouTube question, go ahead.
Relax Nation asks, does having a big aura contribute toward having greater blessings, or is it just samadhi?
Is having what?
A bigger aura.
What's a big aura? Like Jesus' aura on the back of his head? The aura has nothing to do with having more blessings. Yes, number 7.
Cho xin con hỏi cái nào là thế gian pháp, cái nào là Phật pháp? Dạ mời thầy hoan hỷ giải đáp.
Master, I would like to know, could you please explain like what is the worldly Dharma and what is Transcendental Buddhism Dharma?
Worldly dharmas will help you continue to have a good time in the wheel in your incarnation, or suffering, depending how you look at it. It's this kind of dharma will perpetuate your suffering. And Transcendental Dharma in Buddhism is a dharma will bring you out of the wheel. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you call it. You call it Chan, you call it Pureland, you call it Tibetan or Tantric, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, as long as it brings you out of the wheel, it's called Transcendental Dharma, meaning that you are, when you're dead, you no longer revolve. Okay, you go somewhere else, then go back. You've been here all this time. Okay, that's why you keep on believing in Transcendental Dharma. I mean, especially, Worldly Dharma. But and so what's the difference? I give you a clue about the difference between Worldly Dharma versus Transcendental Dharmas. One glaring factor that most people don't understand is that it's not the whole thing, but one characteristic that you can tell immediately is a Worldly Dharma when it stresses you having fun. It stresses you seeking pleasures. It stresses you being greedy. You're greedy for spiritual penetrations. You're greedy for recognitions. You're greedy for money. You're greedy for love. You're greedy for food. You're greedy for companionship. Okay? Those are right there. And because you greed for those pleasurable things, you're afraid of the hard work. You're afraid of sitting in full lotus and enduring the pain. Because Transcendental Dharmas requires you to endure hardship, requires you to endure suffering. There's no other way. And that's one glaring difference, one major difference right there. Okay? And worldly people who are suffering already, when you ask them to suffer more, of course they're afraid of it. But if you don't suffer more, you will not be able to get out of wheel reincarnation, period. That's a major difference. Most people can tell right away. Okay? But it's not all, but that's one major factor that you should pay attention to. If a monk says, smile, follow me, and we're going to have fun together, that's Worldly Dharma. But if a nun says, you have to cross your legs, you have to endure suffering, you have to work harder to recite the Buddha's name. If you recite the Buddha's name, you only feel happy, it's still Worldly Dharma. If you do that Pureland Dharma and you don't have to suffer, you don't have to take losses, most likely you will not go to the Pureland. Think about that. Okay? Yeah. Anyone else? That's it then. Huh? Okay, last question. Oh, YouTube has a question.
Pingdan Qingjing asks, Master, what happens when you donate to Catholic temples in small towns that really need maintenance?
It's a good thing to do. The small towns need churches. If without those churches, those institutions, they will go crazy. So it's a good thing to do. And it's a great thing to do. I encourage you to do that. Okay? It's helpful. You do things from the goodness of your heart. Okay? It's your blessings are multiplied a lot bigger. For example, you donate money to that small church in small town. Okay? You multiply because of that mindset, of that kindness in your heart. You multiply, it might be 100 compared to you donate to a Buddhist temple and which is teaching worldly Dharma. You understand? A Buddhist temple only teaches worldly Dharma, teaches you to have fun, teaches you to socialize and become more greedy. It's just worldly Dharma. That's all. So you multiply is very, very, your benefits, the blessings generated are pretty small, factors of 10. But you go to a small town, small church who is in dire needs for help and they're doing good work, then you multiply it, even though it's still worldly Dharma, but because of your compassion, because of your kindness, your multiplier is a lot bigger. Versus that rich man here that Wu Yin knows, he's rich, but his heart is so tiny. Even if he gives a lot of money, the multiplier is really not much. Okay? So that's how it works. Final question from number 7.
Dạ, cho xin con hỏi, có 84.000 pháp môn á, mà ông Phật thiết á, 84.000 pháp môn á, vậy thì sao trong Kinh Căn nó không thiết là Phật Pháp, thiết là không phải Phật Pháp? Không, Phật Pháp là vô thiết mới là Phật Pháp.
Well, they find a way to translate that. I will let me
Google. Ý là nói rất nhiều pháp môn, nhưng mà trong Kinh Căn nói là không thiết mới là Phật Pháp, có thiết là không phải Phật Pháp.
Master, the Buddha said that there are 84,000 Dharma door, and then, but in the Vajra Sutra say that any Dharma that if you put in words, that's not considered Dharma. It will be like not speaking. It's like no words is actually the real Dharma.
So that's why I waited for to see how it's translated. Okay. Okay. The question is, if the Dharma is spoken, it's not the Dharma. From according to Vajra Sutra. Okay. It's not quite the way that it's quoted. I say, if that's the case, then didn't the Buddha just speak of that Dharma, of not spoken Dharma? He just said, if you speak Dharma and there's no Dharma. He just spoke Dharma already. Number 1. Number 2, good thing I have time to Google it. Number 2, that Dharma is not for you. For you stupid people like us, we need to hear something. We need to hear, be good. Avoid doing evil. Get vaccinated. It's a good thing. Because we're stupid. We need to be told what to do. We cannot decide for ourselves. We have no wisdom. We need to be taught like children. Don't stick your finger in the outlet. You're going to be sorry, boy. Huh? Right? Therefore, if you're a parent, how can you look at your children who's about to stick a finger into an outlet in the wall and say, oh, it's okay, I'm not going to say anything. because it's not real Dharma. Okay? Children need to be taught like us. Confused people need to be taught. But the Dharma, the true Dharma for his Bodhisattva disciples does not need to be taught. What kind of Dharma? Should I tell you? It's kind of the paying session. I keep on giving you free information all the time. You take it for granted. What kind of Dharma is that? I'll give you 2 examples of the Dharma that's not spoken. Because those Dharmas, when they are spoken, they're not the Dharma. Would you like to know? Sorry, lunchtime. I need to go. Quickly. Mind-to-mind transmission is not spoken. When a patriarch says, I certify you to be enlightened, the student cannot go around and say, hey, everyone, I'm enlightened. Everyone, Master just certified me to be enlightened. They spoke of Dharma being enlightened, being certified by the Master, is not a mind-to-mind transmission. And that's what happened to a lot of Buddhist monks and nuns who go around and say, oh, I'm a disciple of the 6th patriarch, I'm a disciple of Master YongHua, he certified me and so forth. If they really are certified, really are enlightened by the mind-to-mind transmission, they would not say a damn thing about it. That's the true Dharma that's not spoken. That's a high-level Dharma. It's never spoken. Ever. Example number 2. I forgot. I'm too hungry. That's example, non-spoken Dharma number 2 right there. Okay, thank you everyone. Let's quickly do the lunch offering. We have a lengthening transference. Okay, so Xin, you have to be here. Huh? Okay, very good. Thank you everyone.